يا موسى كل شيء لا يا نوراني الله نور لا يا حاتم الأنبياء يا شهيدا المرسلين يا مصطفى كل شيء الأنبياء يا شهيدا الله مرسلين يا حاتم الأنبياء يا شهيدا المرسلين كانوا على الإيمان بدري دنيا الله يا
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم ما شاء الله تبارك الله. It is Ali Jamjamna, the Mustafa track that was the infamous track of the city for thousands of years, if not millions. أهلا وسهلا وحياكم الله وكل عام وأنتم بخير. اليوم 8/5/1447 هجري والموافق يوم الخميس. It is the 8th of the 5th 1447, and as a soul family we have to constantly understand what it is to be computing. MashaAllah tabarakallah. It's a fasting cuisine day today. It's like a Uber in Khatat milk fanan. MashaAllah tabarakallah. It is in that I don't want to call it a trauma horde, but it is in this channel that we are now navigating in conscious that you're gonna find that the fight is all about water, 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 water. Wow, alif ta ra, water, والشفع والوتر. Okay. Now, the water that you believe is water that the Quran speaks about, which you call moya, ma'un, وأنزلنا من السماء ماء, يعني إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار, يعني these primordial waters that you are and the world are searching for now is at the time that most of the earth is in dire states of drought internally. Okay. When the past civilization was destroyed, when we speak about a civilization, we speak about a conscious reality that you had been taught in, that we had been living through, that we had experienced, that we had traded in, that we had found a God inside. That's a civilization of a reality. Okay. Obviously, this information is only in the Quran, people, and you're not going to get it easily. Okay, your parents didn't get it. Your grandparents, could have, attempted to bring your parents onto that frequency, but it's clear that most of you had been substituted. Okay, now the primordial waters that is now the focus of the age is when your truth was dislocated, okay, when your God was plummeted, okay, as a past civilization, when your truth became a lie, okay, when all your money was declared riba, okay, everything that goes with it, okay, your children gives account to this. You can't lie about it. We have to say it, not you. Because we must tell Allah, are you telling the truth or are you trying to justify something that we already hold the monitor to scan whether you are a mushrik? Okay? This thing has got nothing to do with blood relationship. This is how one jail comes after another jail, okay? And how a past civilization gets destroyed by their own children, okay? This is the power of Allah. This is the power of truth, okay? There is no, dis niks van hart gedraai nie, because almal se harte is skoon except those who had been contaminated and were destroyed in the last civilization, which was COVID. Okay, most of you had no understanding why COVID came in your lives. Okay, you have no understanding why you had to go through that metamorphosis. Okay, you have no contact with the higher realms of self to engage and retrieve data to give you and sustain you with live updates. Okay, that is bankruptcy. Okay? You made the wrong wealth powerful. Okay, you gave the wrong wealth value. Okay, now your children, and how Allah patterns the new age children that comes in psychology, people. Okay, after they already have witnessed how you had showed your own children that the God that you believed in, you yourself had rendered him unfit. Okay, it's all in psychology and it's all in the Quran. You destroy yourselves and your children witnessed it. They are the shaheeds, okay? But they don't attack. Remember that. They understand the game. They are not going to use the same formulas and strategies that brought your civilization down. Okay, because you recognized the enemy externally while the enemy was always internal. Okay, you had given your adversary a position as having to be on the opposite side, and that did not reflect within you and scope a mirror for you to come to realization that you are seeing your own shadow, but you are too weak to acknowledge the the how deep you've gone into the dark hole. Okay, so that is the civilization, that the allegory of Ibrahim. I'm going to give you this today, inshallah ta'ala, with Allah's permission. Your children does not understand Ibrahim as a man. They don't understand him as a prophet that came to save the people from Iraq or come to the people of Saudi Arabia. They're not given the same ideology and the same lenses to come and analyze and decode and interpret the book as to who they know they are, not who you told them who they must be. You cannot understand Islam. You ran away and used Islam as an scapegoat and also controlled the God of Islam. You manipulated the truth, and therefore your children destroys your truth. Okay? Your destruction becomes because you cannot stop your next generation of telling the truth, because you're going to leave, and who are they going to believe? They're going to believe your children because you're no longer there. Okay? But your children, your next generations, okay, when we speak about the children, we're not speaking about biological children here, people. We are speaking about the higher self, the Ghulamun Alim. They are now on a higher frequency. Remember, you were captured when you were in a state of death. You had no answers. That's why you believed in artificial intelligence, in fabricated truths, in fabricated gods, in fabricated religion, in exported formulas of how to find forgiveness. Okay, if anybody would tell you go to that place and there's a room there and make 7 circles and run up and down and you're going to get forgiveness, nobody's going to, in his rationale, going to believe. No one is going to believe. Your children will never believe it. Okay. It is not because you were wrong in the past. It's because there has been a change in the frequency of the cosmic and the conscious. Okay? Understand. Don't feel that you are being shortchanged. You had your opportunity to prove yourselves. Okay? Whilst the testimony holds against you that everything about you had been destroyed. Everything, people. You claim you own things. You claim you are in control of things. You claim, but we saw as children that you were useless. Just with something which we couldn't see and you couldn't see, and you ran and you left your pants fall off. Okay, so the joke is on us as a civilization, people. It's on us. Okay, we don't want to understand by choice what and where we are, but most of us are serving our sentences already because we cannot come to terms with that we were replaced psychologically and physiologically. Okay, we are no longer alive in the new spiritual realm. Okay, there is a new conscious that has been birthed. Okay, only you and me and those who were given, that had made the necessary sacrifices, people. Okay, nothing comes without sacrifice. Okay, the sacrifice was for you to consolidate the lies, the state of your spiritual welfare. Okay, your psychological welfare, your educational welfare, your spiritual welfare. and your identity. Okay, if you are still stuck into a OID, okay, and you could not find your path into a new realm that Allah yani, allows you to enter. Nobody else allows you to enter that realm. Only Allah allows you. But that realm you can only undergo if you can answer this question that Allah yani, questions you in the Quran. وَاذْكُرْ فِي كِتَابِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. What do you as a conscious, where you come from, what do you recall of the chapter that was installed into your yani, itinerary of Ibrahim? Now, who is Ibrahim? He was never a man. Your children's interpretation, your next civilization that is now incoming, that is physiologically, that will not be captured in riba, in banks, in ownership, in egotistical yani, voyages, okay? They are very intelligent people because they understood what was the cause for their father and their mothers to be destroyed and substituted, okay? As a past civilization. No mother wants to hear this. No father wants to hear this because the truth is within us, okay? Now Allah upgrades the next generation so that they can do the diagnostics and analysis of the downfall of their mothers and their fathers, okay, in their presence, okay, how they played gods, how they created religions, how they yani, distorted what was purely yani, fictional, okay. Their common senses will not accept the things that you are ritualizing today because they by now know that you are fully blown, yani mushrikun. You cannot be real. Your ideologies, your way of thinking, Allah has not made it compatible for that to be a pain. Okay, so that is why that is what we call the defunction, yani nature of the last age. That is that women, yani the feminine side of us that we had, yani we had discarded it. Okay, we had taken advantage of it. That's why we are left in the physical body now. Okay, we cannot find that higher self. That is the women that cut themselves up, the fingers, the hands. Okay, self-destroyed. Okay, the imra'atun ghabira. It's not physicality, people. Quran has never been about physicality. It's just your low esteem and the way you have been educated by your adversary that you are stuck in a timeline of conscious, which is, it is a dark world that you're living. It's not. It's what Allah considers as the Jahannam. Okay. When you're still in your physical realm and there is a change of the order, a change of the ages, then you have to find the water. Okay? So the Middle Easterners, they would build the dam in Ethiopia. See, where did the Prophet run to? Where did the first migration go to? Just follow the system, people. Okay? What is the name of the president of Ethiopia? Okay? You must understand how this thing was downloaded into your cognitive transmissions. You must understand these things because it's a deception. The realm that you're coming out of is a deceptive realm. It was an illusional realm. Nothing of that happened because it is nothing in the past can be proven because it was something which was experienced by that civilization. It's not been supposed to be by you. You have to have your own script, your own chapter, your own evolution, your own experience, so that you could grow and you could relate your chapter, your kitab. Could you find the kitab of Ibrahim? Okay, who is Ibrahim? What is Ibrahim? Ibrahim is the Hujjah, Dhul Hujjah. Hujjah is the proof that the last parents, the things that they did, was proof that Allah gave the children hujjah. Alam tara ila alladhi hajja Ibrahim fi rabbi. It is now how Allah sustains the water, the primordial waters for the new generation, where He opens up that conjure for the old concepts to be washed away. Okay, they cannot see that civilization. They cannot see that darkness because they are now seeing a different light, a different dalil, a higher realm of perception, a higher proof, greater proof. That is where Burhan comes from. Ibrahim. Okay, that is how the Burhan, the actual mind, is now activated onto a higher frequency with new data coming in, and then it closes the past cycle, and the new vision, the ru'ya, is given to that those who had migrated with Hajar. Okay, that's why they call the wife of Ibrahim Hajar, because that's the feminine side of it. Okay, that's why Ismail has to change the step of his door. In other words, he is now bringing in a imra'atun abira. Okay, a new command station is coming in with a complete new world of a reality, where what was impossible is now possible. Okay, what was your past beliefs and your textbooks and how you went, you did not upgrade, people. You did not find water to sustain that plant, and therefore you went down. Your concepts went down. Your gods died. Your prophecies died. Everything about you has no longer validity in your next current generations visions. Okay, that is how Hajj is no longer what you had considered in your past. It's already cancelled. You are just not coming to terms because you are dealing now with a artificial system. Okay, you're not going to pay a human being. You're going to pay a robot. That's the way that you will now engage, and nobody will be responsible, because after all, it's just you dealing with yourself and speaking to yourself. So it is your level of perception that you cannot forgive yourself. Okay, then those people, in that advent, in that past advent, that believed in the hurul ains, okay, they wanted to have a sexual orgy if they come to Jannah. Were no dystopy. Nobody was ever physical. You got captured. You got captured in the physicality. Okay. Now, those of you and those people, scholars, or what? You can't call those people scholars. There's no scholars in Islam. Allah must teach you people. And you can only serve yourself. There was prophecy, warners came to warn you of the priests and of those people who are trying to play the role of gods. That's why priests, that's why prophecies came, because these people emulated things which they had no personal relationship or claims to have met a prophet, okay, or a angel for that matter. Okay, they were supposed to only bring to your attention your true potential, so that you could know who you are. Once you know who you are, you will know everything that is around you and everything that is inside of you, because nothing is endorsed externally if it is not certified internally. That's the balance of the internal and the external. Okay, but whilst your past generations were caught up in a physical world, okay, they were hallucinating about having virgins, subhanallah, physical women, Allahu Akbar, and having a sexual orgy in Jannah. Hulle wil dit haram maak in die Jahannam, maar hulle wil dit halal maak in die. Now, what is the, we're just using our logic, guys. We're not being brilliant. We're just using our logic. That person that wants to come back into a physical reality, where it is not a Yani, it's just a energetic transition that you are experiencing in a cosmic timeline. Okay. Now, what do you think the heavens does to the person that is looking forward to having a hundred virgins and the hurul ains? That it's not what they are saying. Please, the Quran is not endorsing those things. They are making it up because that is their low density in the situation. Sexually frustrated, right? So then now they hope for these kind of things. They come back into the physical world to pay the price for that absolute crazy ideas. So they became male prostitutes. Okay, and they get the naqid of the niyyah because we, if you understand Jannah, it's not about physical. It's not a physical experience, people, because you have to have already refined in this dimension that you are currently coming into. The waters are already coming in, and you are getting your upgrade. It is not for scholars. It is for ordinary human beings. It's for ordinary people. It's not for you to be exchanging it and selling it and having classes and giving khutbahs. That's got nothing to do with that. That civilization does not exist in the conscious realms, people. And they do not understand the criteria of living in the truth frequency. They have to fabricate and find superficial and artificial systems to keep them connected. That's why the the AI will now outwit them. Okay, they cannot fight AI. They will be destroyed by AI because AI is much more powerful than 1,000,000,000 of these scholars or politicians. Okay, it's not just on religion, people. This thing is coming down on a entire civilization. If you are acquainted with Surah Yusuf, you should understand it. If you understand your scrolls, if you can read your scroll, okay. Those who can remember the scrolls, those who can remember the authentic self identities, they are reading these books like it's a comic book now. Okay, mashallah. They don't fight anybody. They don't even challenge anybody because it's all about your own journey, people. That's what it is all about. So the fight that you're going to find out there and the distractions now is that they're going to call out a war, whether it be on Venezuela or whether it be on Mali or whether it be on Ukraine again. They're going to create their kind of issues in order to secure the stock that you cannot contain the fact that you were not given the waters, okay, the knowledge to understand the next chapter of the evolution. You cannot get the truth. You are now suffocating in lies. You are sustaining yourself with false beliefs, false gods, false interpretations. The bitter part about this is your children knows the truth and you are, and I am, imprisoned into that conjure, that cycle, and there's nothing I can do. It's like, you know what? It's like in space where you got your space suit on and you're falling off and you're just going and you're just going and there's nothing you can do. You're out of control. Okay? Now, that's how you become self-destructive. It's acknowledged by your own children says it. Okay? Because they must acknowledge it in the presence of the divine master planner. Okay? This is all in the Quran. It's all got to do with your conscious strengths, people. It's how connected, how healthy your web is, how in tune you are with your internal realities, and how you are not distracted because your mind is clean. If you see a car passing, you see your neighbor leaving somewhere, you're not going to think, and Baba say, that's none of your business. You got so involved because of social media and having to learn what is Ya'juj and Ma'juj that you are questioning every damn thing of somebody else. That is the level of your disruption and corruption of your minds. That's what Ya'juj and Ma'juj is. Okay? You only had to learn to know who you were, not someone else. You only had to understand what your scroll is and how your purpose and it complements the next person that crosses your path. Okay? Not to antagonize someone or to compare yourself to someone or to compete with someone. Most of our mothers got carried away to the trample, yani. That's the imra'atu Lut and imra'ata yani Nuh. Okay, it's all displayed in cosmic yani cycles in the Quran. But you as an individual, we are not on the same presence, people. Your waters, dit miskien bittere water, Allah het vir jou baie bittere water as my gegiet. Jy sal op die hoogste in the group 7 now, okay? Whereas I'm not on that level, but we are living in the same yani, physical presence, but physiologically we are on different waves. We are looking at different yani, contours, okay, different realities, different yani, forecasts, okay. So at this moment in time, like we are going through this assessment, and we are really coming to see those who claim that they were professors as how they were spiritually bankrupted by the heavens, people. They had to go and fight for something that does not have any sense in the idea and the vision of the children. They wanted to free hostages that they couldn't free their own inner child inside of them. Okay? They couldn't get yani فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. They could not yani bring peace to the inner selves. So that is where their war starts now. Because the water that they're going to be given now is all artificial. It's not real. Yani the gods that you're going to find in that spiral, in that yani mindset, in that kind of metamorphosis, it's not from where our tribes are, where the soul families are. That is where you are deprived of a soul, people. Okay? That's where you are given the right way of yani, enjoying a experience in hell. Yani. Just this time around, it is forever. Okay? It's how the Quran puts it. Not about fear here. You mustn't be afraid. If you are, you must be yani, honest, and that is going to help you now. Fear is not, it's just in your mind, fear. Okay? Religion brought fear, governments brought fear, and that caused your low esteem. Now, nobody yani, is to be blamed except yourself. Okay? For you to understand that you did not and I did not get the waters. Okay? Die water het nie gekom nie. In other words, die reën het nie geval nie. Okay? And that caused us now to fabricate a different version of what the Quran had come and how it unveils and reveals a truth to those who had been searching for it. Not those that came in and thought that they can just jump on and have a good ride. They ended up in hell now. Their children confirms this. You can't deny it by God if your children confirm it. Remember that your God is a God that you control. Okay, so you can be in denial now because you know you can pay that God for salvation, but your children's God is yani, a more upgraded definition and understanding of divinity. So when they affirm to you in your physical realm that that God is yani, is turned a iblis, and that iblis is you. You became your own shaitan. The shaitan was not outside of you. The shaitan was inside of you. Shaitan and Rahman. You see, the two, it's the same scale. Rahman, Shaitan. Okay. Now, when you got involved in that pan and teen, okay, the teen, yani khalaqatahu min teen, you now became involved in a physical yani format where you went into your physical yani what can I call it, patriotic or like physical yani that masculinity, okay, that yani attack vibe, okay, that's where your tail was cut. That's where the tail was cut. Okay. Since Corona, guys, I'm going to close off now because I have to go to some function, inshallah. But since COVID, guys, you had to come home. Your home is your house. You had to clean whatever najis was out there, what thoughts, your belief systems, all those things that we had imported. Clean house and get yourself balanced out and retrieve and close your windows, close your doors, and get ready. Okay, and know what to do because you have a book. Most of you don't follow a book. You'll clue in a book, but you'll follow it. You'll clue and means. Okay, that's who you are, Fir'aun. You are the Fir'aun, not someone else, because you follow something that is not real. This is what your children are telling you. Okay, you can't deny these things because we come from you, but we are not like you. Okay, because we did not go and find another nation's God, nor did we go and underestimate the ability, the qudra of Allah, and also the pure roots that we come from. Okay, we come from our soul family. We come from strong roots, people, in this land. Okay, so I must be honest, guys. Religion from all corners is not going to survive this truth. The children cannot accept it. It's a blatant fantasy that you are living through. Okay, and obviously they will also now come and remodule what communal life is in opposed to capitalism. Okay, you went and invested your children into the ANC and into the DA and into all these different things. That's not the solution. They are parties. They're having parties, people. You are even telling yourself they are parties. They use money magic in order to get the thing alive. We understand how you make money, man. Money is currency. Okay? You just given an understanding of what the Babylonian and the Roman and the British and the American system was, but you don't realize that it is your beliefs in the Middle Eastern gods and you submitting to a black world, a chaotic world, that you need salvation for whatever you've done wrong, that you are paying the price. And that money laundering is happening in Washington. And that is your reserve currency. That is where your currency was reserved and it was exchanged. And therefore, most of you come back and serve more time in other lives after you leave this realm and you did not come to that level of perception. You come back to another experience of a hell so that you can learn your lessons. Okay? So that you do not be captured on that type of way of beliefs, because your children are free. That's why it says, وَمَا أُبْرِئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. The Quran is going to give your children a different understanding by their minds. They're not going to have to become alims. It's natural. They just have to uproot themselves of that dead, that dead and impure thoughts that they had of what they were taught and that false ways of thinking, and come back to the natural order. That's all. You don't have to do anything more than that. You don't have to become reading all these books. Everything is already by you. Allah already said in the Quran. Why you need to read all these things when it's everything inside of you? And the new generations, they're going to teach the world who is Allah. And you're going to be embarrassed as to how you could have degraded yourself and become such low forms of a creation of Allah. Okay? So people, these things are happening neurologically. Okay? It's happening digitally. Okay? It's happening when your children are asleep. Okay? They're getting a good balance. Those of you who are still fighting yourselves and not able to put the lights on inside of yourselves, not liberating yourselves, don't take it out on your wives today. Please have mercy on them. Please have mercy on your mothers and your sisters. Allah, they went through a lot. It's best that you get yourself out of that mess, because it is ground zero. This is to Sifr, in the heavens, in the conscious. Okay, it's a new earth, a new reality, a new logic, a new reasoning, a new rationale, a new religion, a new God, a new prophecies. Everything is new here, and you cannot get anything. So you're living off dead meat now. That is what you have to get ready, as according to the ru'ya of Nabi, prophecy of Joseph, of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Okay, it's now where the fight for water in Israel and Egypt is because it's not the Nile, is the primordial waters that wants to kill the soul. The fight is to take control of the soul here. Okay, so those of you who has lost the connection with the soul tribe, with the soul family, you have to just believe in the way that you believed, and come back when you die to come and serve more lives in that serve, because you've given your life over to a foreign power. Okay, this is how it is. This is conscious, and where you are living is the Maqbara, the Kabristan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all that stands out there. They bury you in the rock and in the mountains. Stay home. Stay where you're supposed to be. Don't take foreign ideas. Don't take foreign concepts. Get your natural order aligned. This is the time for you to get your ticket home. Okay? MashaAllah, I have to get done now, MashaAllah. But shukran so much for your time, and enjoy the buka tonight, inshallah ta'ala. Allah bless you. Shukran for everything, and see you for the Khaddat Fadan, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
يا مصطفى كل شيء لله يا نورا من نور الله يا مصطفى